Here we go. Who the hell are you, man?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
We are the Knights
Hold on to your butt.
And now for something completely different.
Hello out there, and welcome to the Knights of Nerdatude podcast. We're a podcast for all things nerd. My name is Chris. I'm here with...
Order 66 was an inside job. It's Sam.
I ordered the glass that wasn't bulletproof or blaster-proof. It's John.
And it's Morbin time. It's Sean.
Well, anyway, folks, we got a nice little gambit of stuff we get to discuss here this week. We have a little bit of Obi-Wan, and we have a little bit of Morbius.
We have some Morbius news.
And that falls into the news, along with a few other things. We're also going to give a quick hit and finish up our Stranger Things discussion. 100% of us have finally seen the first 7 episodes of the season.
75.
100% of the people that want to have.
Right.
100% of the people who watch the show.
Sam doesn't watch it.
You don't watch it. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the 80s. I wasn't born in that decade. Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry, I watched the first season, didn't really click for me, all right? So I didn't hop back on.
All right.
So we'll finish up the Stranger Things discussion. We're also going to tie up We Own This City, the HBO miniseries. And what else is there? 2 trailers dropped. Prey, full trailer for Prey, and Black Adam. We got a
full trailer for Black Adam as well.
Yes, very, very full. So let's start off with some news first.
Ooh, I get to lead this. All right, sweet. Well, first of all, as I stated with Morbius, Morbius was re-released this weekend to make up for all these memes that has been like...
Because of the memes.
Literally because of the memes, they decided to re-release it.
I like to point out, I just started watching those, and they're amazing.
Oh, they're phenomenal. Have you seen the ones like the Breaking Bad ones with Walter White?
I don't know.
Oh, those ones are so good. I recommend those ones.
I just like the one with like Venom.
Yeah. It's Morbin time. Anyways, so it was re-released this weekend. I unfortunately was unable to go. I was booked through the weekend doing things. I probably would have gone if I knew it was being re-released.
I would have gone, but I have a sense of shame, so...
Yeah. Well, luckily no one went to go see it. So it was re-released in like 5,000.
Yeah, a huge re-release.
A massive re-release. And it made $300,000. Yes, I'm not missing the million. It's $300,000.
Which is, what did you do the number? It was like $82 per theater or something?
Oh, it's some ridiculously low
it was, I think it was like 200 something on Friday alone. It was like, it was just bad.
Yeah.
It's Sony apparently doesn't understand what a meme
is.
They
have no idea.
Or an ironic joke. Which,
But you know who does? Somehow Jared Leto does understand what a joke is, because on his, I believe, Twitter over the past weekend, he posted a video of him reading a script. And somebody's like, hey, let me see that. And they're like, no. And he's like hiding it. And they rip it out of his hands. And it says Morbius 2. It's Morbin time on it.
Jesus. So he's reading fan fiction.
No, he's
reading
in on the
joke.
joke.
Yeah, it's a joke.
He's literally in on the joke.
I don't know how much that's in on the joke, as he was like maybe trying to get people in the theaters.
No.
Probably
a little column A, column
little,
B.
yeah. I'd say more just in on the joke / fanning the flames.
I think that came out on Monday or Tuesday, so it was after it flopped in the box office a second.
Oh no, that was like
it was
Friday.
before.
Was it Friday?
Yeah, it was before.
Okay. But either way, I like props on the fact that he did that. Like, he could have not have done that and been Jared Leto and just be like, no one understands my art. But at least he had like a little bit of sense of humor.
Maybe I should join his cult. He seems like a cool guy.
The 30 Seconds of Mars cult. They fully admit they're a cult, too.
It's called 31 Seconds to Mars, the cult, because it's the extra second for Jared.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Speaking of reading maybe fake scripts, but probably not in this case, we have breaking news. Well, not really breaking news.
No, it's a couple days old.
It's a podcast. Sean, you're gonna listen to this next week anyway. But we do. Todd Phillips posting to his Instagram a picture of the front page of a Joker 2 script, and then Joaquin Phoenix reading it.
Yeah.
Butt in hand.
Really,
It's just
incredible.
Does this seem like just funny to me whenever they see celebrities smoking cigarettes still? Not funny, but just like
I think it's
odd.
like awesome, but
Yeah, okay.
I just find it weird that was it 3 years ago we had him on stage saying like, save the planet, you need to do all these great things for the planet, and then he's smoking cigarettes.
Sounds they're natural. All right.
Oh yeah, they're all natural.
Yeah, it's made up of his own feces.
it's a really small fire, dude. You can get carbon offsets like pretty. Like I could plant a tree and be good for a year. at
Right, but
least.
you're also killing people around you. But hey, that's
But that's not the planet. In fact, the more people you kill, the less likely they are to kill the planet. So who's really the sigma there? Anyway,
Aren't you the
Sorry.
problem for not smoking, Sean?
Getting wicked meta now.
All right, I guess I'll
I-
start smoking tomorrow.
saw a great article of like somebody was like, oh, here's Martin Scorsese movies they could reference in this one. It's like Gangs of New York and the Departed. I'm like, bro, you're just naming Martin Scorsese movies. Like, no one, that wasn't like, I mean, that was really a thing in that, but like, who the hell knows?
Wasn't like the subtitle to this one in French or
Yeah,
something?
it's
Yes.
folie à deux.
Which is, I think, like
It's a
two
mental disorder.
personality
Yeah.
or something like that.
which people
Two
are
crazies.
thinking that is pointing towards Harley Quinn showing up. That's what the buzz on the internet is saying. I'm
So-
not saying I think that.
I guess the question we should probably ask is, do we need this?
no, but like, also, why not?
Look, so if
Wha-
this
wha-
was announced literally the like week after it dropped, I'd be like, no, we don't need this. But Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix both were like, yeah, no, that was a one shot. And then the pandemic happened, and people spent a lot of time sitting down in their apartments doing nothing. And I stated throughout that we might be getting some good music and some good movies post the pandemic. This could have been something Todd Phillips was working on through the pandemic, which means it was, all of his focus was on this. So it might actually be decent. So I'm okay with this happening.
Well, we've already had a tested DC property written in the pandemic spur of the moment, Peacemaker.
Yeah, and it did really well.
Look, DC's not going to turn
Apparently,
down the okay for this either.
What's that?
DC won't turn down this.
Oh, no.
This,
Oh,
if they,
you
if
mean-
they request
the
it.
billion- $1
Maybe
movie?
one of the most profitable movies they've ever made.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably they're gonna greenlight it. I would guess.
How would you feel? Okay, so regardless of how you think about Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad, she is one of the most liked characters of that group.
Sure.
How would you feel about her being
Big
in
Rick
the
Flag
Joker?
fan, my guy.
So like what I just brought up?
Yeah. I'm just
okay.
how do you guys?
I think you recast, right? It can't be.
Oh yeah,
can't be,
it cannot be.
Given
cannot be Margot
given
Robbie.
the nature of the context of the movie, yeah, I would assume you would recast.
Who
but
would you
might be just
recast?
who would you throw in?
I mean, it would
as
have
Harley
to be
Quinn?
an older one. I have no idea, honestly. I'm leaving this up to Warner Brothers.
Should just go like full set and just go Rooney Mara, his
God.
girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I mean, girl with the dragon tattoo.
Yeah, right?
Kind of.
Okay,
I don't know.
can see
She's
it.
never eaten pie, so
Oh god.
What?
that was a story about it.
Yeah, there's a story about pie and her, and I feel so bad.
Who,
for
Rooney
her.
Mara?
Yeah, in was it a ghost story?
Yeah, I think it was a ghost
in
story.
shooting a ghost story, there's a scene where she has to eat a pie, and she literally eats the whole pie but they had to do multiple shots of it, so she ate a lot of pie.
Oh.
And if you've ever eaten, or I shouldn't say yeah, there's plenty of times that you've overeaten on a single thing and been like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And there's another time when you kind of have to overeat on something, if it's like a food eating contest or something, or you're shooting a movie and you have to
Friday
eat
night in a Domino's pizza.
Yeah, you're shooting a movie and you have to eat 12 bananas because you need the banana peels, which has happened to me.
I think you cocked the hammer though on that one.
What?
You just blow it out
Oh yeah.
and on the off takes.
Yeah. But yeah, she did that, and I don't think she's ever eaten a pie since, and I don't blame the girl.
Yeah, I feel like you're definitely gonna get some kind of big co-casting because I feel like there's not a lot of meat on the bone. Like I think something in this universe.
You don't
with this
have
guy,
Batman yet, so you don't have to worry about casting your Batman.
right? But but give me some other crazy guy. Give
Right.
me what's Victor Zaz or something. Give me some something like that. I don't
Wait,
know.
so the French title means like two person or something like that?
I think it means two crazies
Something like I
so.
think it's
Two-Face.
or two birds.
No, but it's I guess Two-Face would work because he's two personalities.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's deux because it's the second one too.
Right.
I think that works on.
Correct.
I don't know. We probably should have Googled that beforehand, but we failed to. Sean,
I was hoping that someone in this room took any little bit of French.
Oh, I'd lost all.
Oh,
of
I
it.
did. I mean, but
I took 3
If you
years of
don't-
Spanish 1.
if you don't scratch it, then you don't.
German all the way, dude.
You got to take German in your fancy.
in
No,
college.
I don't want to say it. I was too stupid to take a language in high school.
right. So-
High school.
So, folie à deux is defined as an identical or similar mental disorder affecting 2 or more individuals, usually the members of a close family,
Okay.
which would make sense for
Yes.
Harley Quinn.
That almost So that casting is huge then,
Yeah, so,
and they can more or less get whoever because they'll greenlight this movie.
oh, 100%.
Meryl Streep. Tell me it's bad. Tell me it's bad.
You know she would kill it.
Yeah, she'd kill.
Oh my God, they would both be up for Oscars.
Or like if she's the doctor or something like
Well,
that.
Harley Quinn is a doctor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
that's
Well,
her.
no, but I mean like she's the.
That would be
Something,
Yeah, that'd
yeah.
be Hugo Strange. And please, for the love of God, introduce Hugo Strange. Someone over there in DC, just introduce the character. He's a Batman.
There's gotta be somebody like flying a kite or something like
Okay,
that.
man.
Yeah, just it's a little hint, like they get strangled by the kite or I don't know something. Okay, that'll be interesting.
Peacemaker
I'm sure.
season 2 apparently is gonna have
I'm sure we're not going to see that for a little bit, but I don't know. I'm just intrigued. There's no reason for me to be excited.
No,
I'm
but
just-
like I said, they worked on this, and that's the thing that I'm excited about.
and you're right too, Sean. I think the gap, the distance in between, even regardless of the pandemic, I think it's good for it to be like 6 years later.
Yeah.
Like if they made it like back to back.
Like if they
fine.
greenlit this immediately, I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, it's gonna be a shitty bet.
It's sort of a distance makes the heart grow fonder sort
Plus-
of deal.
Plus,
Right.
you can build on it too. Like 6 years in an asylum.
Plus the fact that it's like okay, they waited until they had an idea,
Right.
Like they weren't under the gun.
Yeah,
to-
they weren't forced to be like, oh, we're gonna light the next one, but it's gonna come out in 2 years. Like, wait till we have a script first. So yeah,
surprised Todd Phillips hasn't done anything else since.
and I'm okay with that. It seems like he was focusing on this, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm
He's
down with
pulling
that
a
too.
Guillermo. Just take a couple years, focus on a pet project, and let it rip.
Good old Del Toro.
There we go.
All right, so one other piece of news. So it seems like we've mentioned it on this podcast quite a few times, but it seems like over in Marvel, Thunderbolts the movie is in the works finally. It's by random guy who really hasn't done much. He's worked with Marvel, done a few different shows and movies like behind the scenes, but
So are you gonna pull in existing?
that
What?
is what they assume. So Thunderbolts is essentially
I
Marvel's
totally
Suicide
know,
Squad.
but like, could you
Oh,
maybe
okay.
explain it
Yeah.
for somebody?
Thunderbolts is essentially the Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
It's a bunch of villains who are being forced into being the heroes. So as of right now, who they believe could possibly be in the Thunderbolts, you've got Julia Louis-Dreyfus would be the head of them, kind of
Okay.
the Amanda Waller of the MCU.
Okay, I can see that.
You have U.S. Agent.
Yeah.
You have Black Widow's sister. I forget her name. Begins with a Y.
Florence Pugh.
Yeah,
or whatever
Florence
the
Pugh.
name
Yasha?
is.
Yeah, something. It begins with a Y. So she would be in it. You have Taskmaster. Sorry.
Wait, who is
from-
Taskmaster?
It's
Black
the
Widow.
woman from the bad guy in Black Widow who can
copy people's
copy
moves
people's
and stuff.
abilities and whatnot.
Man, I don't even remember that.
She was
movie.
really wow.
I really
It's
don't.
the person in the suit, and then it's like revealed that it's a woman. It's like a skull mask almost.
no, I'm just
Yeah, no, that's fine.
just fishing. Sorry.
Yeah, but who leads it is the big question.
I don't know.
That they need to fill it.
So it's interesting
Because in the comics, it's
I mean, there's been different.
There's been a few, but I think
The most recent.
Doctor Doom was one of the. He was one
that's
of the
been
leaders,
it's
right?
been a while since he's been associated with them.
Well, I mean, like
more recently, it's been Taskmaster.
you got Zemo. He's like
Oh
kind of
yeah,
a
and
leader.
Zemo.
Yeah,
Zemo's
Zemo
the
is
other
one of
one.
them,
That's
yeah.
right. He's the other one that's possibly attached to this.
I mean, sure, it's not. That's
I'm
not bad.
okay. I'm just worried that
It's gonna be 2 Suicide Squad.
so you have the tale of 2 Suicide Squads, where you have one that's a very generic superhero movie that sucked because it was rushed and no one really understood what they were doing, and then you have a very goofy one which feels very Guardians of the Galaxy-esque because obviously it's James Gunn. So now Marvel's going to do one, and I'm afraid that it's just going to be run of
Generic.
the mill.
Yeah, like
Marvel
it
movie.
kind of feels like, are we chasing trends here?
There's no way it's gonna be better than the Gunn Suicide Squad.
Right.
I just can't. I can't see that being an interesting movie. You know.
Yeah.
Like interesting too that they're gonna just stack it. I mean, look, dude, their bench is deep enough. They certainly can. I mean, the list of actors we just rattled off would just be an incredible cast in any
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
So the fact that you could just be like, oh yeah, you showed up for 30 minutes in the last Captain America, come on board.
Yeah.
That's great that they can do that, because I mean that was, I guess, maybe one of the downsides of the first Suicide Squad was that it was all people you didn't know or really care about.
Except for Slipknot.
Of course,
Yeah.
we all cried.
All right.
Yeah. So I mean, that's happening. It's in the works. That's all. It's still in the script writing stage. So
We'll see. They keep feeding
But
us.
yeah, the guy. I wish I could tell you his name. I don't feel like looking it up, and because I'm talking right now. But the guy who is helming the project, he brought his idea to Marvel, and they were just blown away, seeing that it's a guy that doesn't really have much under his belt for like projects. So the fact that they were blown away by his idea and greenlit it. I mean, maybe he has something.
I
Who
feel
knows?
like
We'll see.
that isn't as disadvantageous as we think, because they're so committee based anyway. Like, you actually do get some benefit from being a total like 1,000-note committee thing of that. You don't really make a lot of like total garbage movies.
Right.
So you've got a lot of people around him, like back on the other
Right.
side of the camera to
Right.
help mold it along.
Yeah,
So
it's-
that's interesting that this is one that they didn't necessarily have planned, but the guy just sort of sold them on it.
Yeah.
So it's a movie, not a TV
It's
show.
a movie. 100% a
Okay.
movie.
Okay. Because this feels like it could
Oh,
very
100%
easily be
be
a
a
TV
TV
show.
show.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of movie trailers, let's move on to the trailers. Let's do quick Prey first.
Oh, we're gonna do Prey first.
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
Prey, and we finally got the full trailer with a little bit of context and dialogue.
Yep.
And,
I mean, it's a Predator movie. I kind of
100%.
understood what was
Yeah,
going
I feel
on.
like there was almost no different. I mean, like, I'm glad we saw the trailer. Cool trailer. But,
Yeah.
like,
The thing.
my
is-
understanding is at the same level of,
Well,
like,
the only thing for me is it places a timeline. Like, when is it?
yeah,
Oh,
you do see
European
pioneers,
colonization.
so, yeah.
yeah.
You know.
well, insert cannon fodder here. So
Well, yeah, but it gives
It's
you
a
an idea.
Predator movie.
Obviously, it's
No,
not.
they're
gonna
going to show up.
yeah, I get it.
No, Chris, they're clearly going to show up with a gun and kill the Predator.
Oh no,
at
no,
the-
the Indians sent a ship to say, "Come help us," and then they came over and
Right, yes, they flagged them down.
It's a complete retcon. The Indians colonized Europe.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. But look, you're right though. Cool trailer.
Yeah.
Apart from being like cheesy CGI with the bear.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was the
no,
only.
that
but
was-
it's.
I don't know. I feel like trailer CGI.
straight to Hulu. Straight
Yeah.
to Hulu.
Okay, could we talk? Because I feel like we're all kind of into this.
Right.
Yeah.
The trailer
How-
actually sold me a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
Are you guys disappointed this isn't theatrically released?
Yes.
I am.
Yes.
Because
I
I
am
feel like this
very-
would be
Yeah.
a good one to see in a
Yeah,
theater.
I would
and
love
like,
to.
I'm not saying this movie's going to be incredible, but like, it would be a good theatrical experience.
So
Yeah.
I'm wondering. So this was announced like a year or two ago. I think
It's a year and a half ago.
It was about a year and a half?
It was just before the summer, I thought.
so. It was like 2020, like late 2020, when like the poster came out of. It was just her silhouette and then the Predator behind her.
yeah, I think
it
that was
like
in the winter.
fall. Like I think it was fall to winter of 2020.
Okay.
That came out. So when that came out, they announced at that point, they were like, yeah, it's going to be straight to Hulu. So I'm wondering if they weren't expecting things to be back to normal just yet.
Yeah, maybe they were betting on like,
Yeah.
there might be a transition period where like people aren't going to theaters, but
Right.
like they kind of are now.
Yeah, I think it's just poor planning on
And I
on
think-
Disney's
I
part.
bet it's just not
Two-
tracking well. At the
Maybe.
time, they didn't think it would track well.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think, too, part of it is, like, I don't think this movie is going to be super expensive to make either. Like, there's some CG, but, like, you're filming, you know, not exactly, like, extensive sets. You're in nature. You know, I don't, like, Amber Mid-Thunder is not, you know, we've seen her and stuff and liked her and stuff, but she's not, like, a, you know, name or anything
So
like that.
Legion and
Fargo she was in, too.
Oh, okay. So
the
FX.
Hollyverse. Oh man, John Hamm's gonna be in season 5 of Fargo. I'm very excited
Really?
about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm in. 100% in.
Let's go. I
gotta
never
get into
finished the
Fargo.
fourth
Yeah,
season.
I never
got
like-
with Chris Rock. I didn't finish it either. I was kind
It
of
didn't. It
lost
wasn't
it.
doing it for me. That's the problem with the anthology shows. Is you're like, if you're just not into it by the third episode, it's like,
the Ewan McGregor one. I watched the second time.
oh really?
it was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Prey August 5th. So coming soon.
Yeah,
Month
Yeah.
away. So we'll definitely hit that up.
100%.
In other trailers, we received the newest DC movie, starring The Rock, Black Adam, which we previously had a very small teaser for.
Yeah.
What are your takes on this movie?
Based on DC, and this is a DC problem, not a Warner Brothers problem. But DC's issue is every character is, all right, I'm a god, but here's my power. So, like, Aquaman is, I'm a god, but I live under the ocean. Wonder Woman is like,
Right.
I'm a god, but I'm an Amazonian.
And you mean like DC, not even movies, DC
DC
everything.
in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every superhero is essentially a god. Minus Batman, which is probably why I like Batman.
Hey, Kite Man.
And Kite Man. But Kite Man is not a hero.
Yeah, he's a incompetent villain.
He's very competent.
Incompetent. All right. He robs with a kite.
You
I like to see you do that.
You slander the name of Kite Man in this house? Get out.
Do you think we could get someone related to Kite Man, like the universe, on this pod? Like, is that, like, if we had that kind of a niche pull, do you think we could? I don't know.
Like, who created?
I bet
Yeah,
you. I
like
bet
the
you.
creator of Kite
Peacemaker only mentioned Kite Man because we've talked about it so much in the
Probably.
Yes.
I guess he is in the Harley Quinn show,
Yes, he is.
Okay.
which we still have.
He
You guys
is-
ever watched?
I have not. That is
No.
on my list of
I feel
things
like
to
we should
watch.
check out at some point.
So Black Adam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so Black
Black
Adam.
Adam. I mean, my take here is it's definitely a movie.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
Like
it is-
explosions, background.
It
The
is
Rock.
100% one of the movies ever made.
Yes. You guys like? Can we? Okay. Do you guys ever want to talk about Black Adam again?
Probably not.
Probably not. Like, I don't.
really.
Honestly,
The
I don't care
only-
if we see it. At
The
this point.
only thing that like slightly intrigues me is Pierce Brosnan as
Yes.
Dr. Fate.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
yes,
Because
yes.
A, Dr. Fate's kind of a cool character, and two, it's Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
So, but outside of that, I don't really care.
No.
What's cool about the character? I'm unfamiliar.
So he has a helmet, and it's like Egyptian god or something in it.
Oh.
And when
there's
he
the
puts
god
it
thing.
on, the god takes control of his body, but it slowly drives whoever's wearing the helmet mad.
So,
Huh.
so we just had
Weird.
that with Moon Knight.
What?
Yeah.
Man, I'm like tipping my tongue. Okay. All right. Well, that's
This whole episode is this like movie is very Egyptian heavy, which is
it? Okay.
because Black Adam mentions like he's Egyptian.
Yeah.
The gods gave him his
Now,
powers.
let me ask you this.
Was it Hawk Guy?
No.
Oh, no.
There's
yeah,
a Hawkman.
Yeah, there's a. Oh God, what's his name?
Is it Hawkman or Hawk Guy?
Okay, hang on.
I think
There
it's
was a
Hawkeye.
guy who
Hawkman.
looked like Hawkeye in this.
It's not Hawk.
No.
It's
He's in the
Hawkman.
Arrowverse.
Yeah, he is. He shows up in there with Hawk Girl.
Man
I think it's
Hawk?
Hawk.
Is it
No,
Hawk-
no,
no.
I think it's Hawkman.
Is it?
Tomahawk.
I think it's Hawkman.
His first name's Tom.
My cock.
Michael Hawk. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because there was a guy who I thought looked a lot like Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Like,
it's Hawkman.
specifically like
Hawkman
Hawkman,
from
all right.
DC.
Okay.
Which means Hawk Girl is soon, possibly right around the corner. Yeah.
Well, anyway, Black
like,
Adam.
I feel like with this movie, yeah, it's definitely a movie. No, I'm more excited about the supporting cast of this movie than I am The Rock. which is sad because I should be excited for The Rock.
This
but
movie's
I
gonna make
don't
big
care.
money
Well-
because of the.
Oh yeah,
You know, when you make 3 more or less forgettable movies every year for a decade, the brand is a little watered down. I'm just, it happens. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. So this movie comes out in theaters.
Yes, it does.
October 21st.
Okay.
So you got a little ways to wait.
That Halloween season of movies.
Yeah.
Well, there's not much in October this year.
Yeah.
So.
Right with the rest of the Oscar bait.
Actually, you know what we haven't got since this is I guess given that we're still waiting for the Aquaman 2 trailer.
We'll see if that even.
Or even
they might
teaser.
have to work a little bit on that.
Yeah.
I do hope somebody shows up if I watch this that there's some kind of crossover to some of the other ones, just because I feel like that's all I got now with the DC things.
The DC stuff.
I need the stupid Easter eggs. Like, as much as I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, Marvel, you keep doing Easter
Well-
eggs, make an actual movie. I'm like, no, give me all frivolous bullshit in DC world because you have nothing else to stand
What,
on.
Yeah,
what
I agree.
over under that Shazam or the kid who
The Shazam will probably be a post credit for this.
To be honest, I actually kind of enjoyed Shazam, so I'd be.
I did too.
cool. Where it's Zachary Levi was amazing in that.
Oh,
There's a
he's
second
great
one
character.
coming, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Flash.
oh yeah.
Ezra Miller's back in the news.
When was
I don't
that
know if I wanna
supposed
talk
to?
about
Yeah,
it.
did you see that? Yeah.
I did
Oh,
see
I,
that.
I missed what did we
You
do?
know, it's
No, a kid filed a restraining order, or one of the
No,
parents.
the
of-
parents did.
Yeah.
To
Talk about a cult.
quick rundown. So he's being accused of grooming a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
All right.
Who may or may not be addicted to drugs, is an adult now, in Ezra Miller's care. Ezra Miller has their phone, but somehow they're posting on, I believe, Twitter about how great Ezra Miller is. So yeah, I think Ezra Miller's posting as this person, and he's probably gonna be going to jail soon.
Okay.
Hey.
Thank goodness we have.
So can we revisit my comment a few months ago?
Of
Does
it.
this movie get released?
Oh my god! Like
If
Ezra Miller
if he goes
is
to jail, well, I don't know any of the story, but like giving yours, if he goes to jail,
When is it supposed to be released?
I think it was November.
November, yeah.
Okay. Oh man.
It's like a horrible situation. It's like every chance DC that people are like, hey, you should probably like revisit The Flash, and like DC's like, no, it's fine, steady head, like keep going, full steam ahead. We
Steady
got this.
on.
And then Ezra Miller's like, hey, watch this, and then he does or they do something.
Yeah.
Like, stop doing things, Ezra. Like, just stay at home.
Yeah.
Be quiet.
So we're gonna get like the last week of October a picture of them like storming the Capitol. Like, is that how this ends at this point?
Oh boy.
I don't know what's going to happen with Ezra Miller, but that person, they're just so screwed up right now. They're attached to both DC and Harry Potter, like two of DC's biggest franchises right now. It's attached.
Warner Brothers.
Well, that's what I meant. Warner Brothers, like biggest franchises right
I'm
now.
sorry. Who's Ezra Miller?
Yeah.
It's essentially gone with the Dumbledore. That plot line is already like
All right.
It's
that's good.
concluded.
Well, that was one of the conversations before that came out. Like, do you just like what do you do with him? He's in the movie.
Yeah.
He's still collecting a paycheck.
Yeah, but he's not. It's not as big as a role as others.
Gotcha.
The DC universe is hurting
He's
right
he's
now.
not Flash. He's not the
Gotcha.
title character.
DC is hurting right now between Ezra Miller and Amber Heard. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They've got many tough decisions ahead of them,
Yeah.
and they're probably going to make the wrong ones.
The good news is none of this is like ingrained enough that people are going to be like, "Oh, but where is Mira?
right?
Why isn't Mira in
Yeah.
this movie?"
I mean, they
Yeah.
were already talking about how
Honestly, you could have
she-
recast it, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't,
No,
it
yeah, I
wouldn't
wouldn't,
faze me.
no.
Well, they were talking about how she had horrible on-screen chemistry with Jason Momoa.
Well, it was
And that's-
underwater.
But that's why her role in the sequel is like toned down a lot. And that's why it's also like people are like, hey, just cut her out.
Did Defoe die in that movie?
No.
Okay,
He's
awesome.
alive.
He should just half of it.
I forget that movie. All right.
Yeah, it's a very
let's-
forgettable movie.
There's been a lot of them, man.
How can you forget a Dolph
Boba
Lundgren
Fett's in
movie?
it. Yeah, Dolph Lundgren, Boba Fett's in it.
I do remember Dolph Lundgren being in there. But all right, let's shift on to
let's
TV show.
Yeah, do you want to just do We Own the City?
Yeah, you guys do Will.
Yeah, We Own the City.
Okay, so Chris has watched the last two, the finale.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts at the end?
Very similar to the not very similar to The Wire. It was just like this hopelessness, the feeling, and then it was almost similar to that. It's like, yes, it's the same feeling, but it's kind of all right. Well, this is essentially a different viewpoint because in The Wire it was more of a criminal. You focus more on the crime and the stuff like that, but this one is definitely focusing on cops and their overall behavior. But I mean. I guess it's the same hopelessness, but just of a different nature. Because when you're looking at it, it's like all these supposed good cops went to, they're supposed to be good. They all get arrested. They all go to jail, even for semi-logical reasons why they were doing what they were doing. But then, like, that's fine. That's bad. But then you see at the end credits, it's like the mayor who goes to jail for 3 years for tax evasion.
For things totally unrelated to this story.
Yeah, unrelated. So, like, the commissioner, the police commissioner, he gets fired because, of the task force goes to jail, and that's on him. He gets fired because of that, who's genuinely seemed like a guy who kind of wanted to make progress.
Yeah, did he want to make progress? But, like, it was all like, well, other people, this is, he wasn't exactly taking a lot of responsibility, whether or not it was his, but, he was kind of shirking it a little bit, I thought, yeah.
No, you're right, but that feeling of hopelessness just keeps popping up after every little end credit. It's like the new mayor who comes in, tax evasion.
Also,
also crooked, not crooked, but just like does illegal shit. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't want to say this because, like, Baltimore's a failed state.
No,
but
that's
truth,
the closest thing we have to
these two shows are made 20 years apart.
And it's the same
thing. And it's all based on true stories, and it just hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
It's really incredible. Yeah, I mean, obviously the failure of institutions is a hallmark of almost every David Simon thing. I don't know if you've seen Show Me a Hero. Great Oscar Isaac performance.
Not, no.
It's a good. It's not quite like these two. It's not really a crime sort of thing. It's more like public housing, which I know doesn't exactly scream like incredibly interesting.
Does he focus on true?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a true thing. Bernthal's in it. Winona Ryder's in it. Oscar Isaac's in it. Alfred Molina's in it.
Okay. Can we?
Jim Belushi's in it.
So. Can we? I just want to say,
I'm out.
John Bernthal. I will consume anything that he's in now. After this,
he's
solidified.
So fucking good in this.
It's unreal how he can just eat up the screen, and you're just taking all of it. Like, you are just consuming everything that he's saying.
Do you want to know what's an absolute travesty though?
What?
I was reading. So you know how there's a guy in Variety that does the like power rankings essentially of like, he does it for like Oscar season 2, but this was Emmys. He was like 17th on the list for like best actor
for Emmys
for limited. Yeah.
For limited
just
TV
for
series
that, right.
For this year.
Yes. 17.
Are there 16 other limited series out there?
There are I don't know if you've known this, there's a lot of TV.
But for 2022 in July, halfway through the year,
but
16 other.
Well, yeah, but it is seasons, so it does go back to like last June. It's half of it's like a TV season, traditional TV season, September to the.
But limited series, and they.
Yeah.
All right.
No, there's.
Like, I don't know why, but so far this is one of the best performances I've seen this year.
Like one with a bullet for me, and who the hell knows? They haven't even come out with. I think the nominating thing is very soon. But yeah, that would suck if he's not even nominated though.
Right?
But,
he deserves it because
he's so good in this. Like he has really like just rocketed up my charts of like, especially like even like King Richard, where he's just like not really. I don't want to say adding a lot, but like
he can compete with Will Smith on screen.
Oh yeah,
that's what that proved to me, that he can also be like the guy that I'm focusing on, not just a background like Band of Brothers, not Band of Brothers, but The Pacific or
Oh, that's right.
the Daredevil.
Oh my God! Now I gotta go watch the Pacific again.
Oh yeah, he was in that.
He was in. I want to say 2 episodes of Pacific.
Like the first 2.
I think it was the first 2.
he
When the
good?
Marines go to Guadalcanal.
No, he's the
sergeant.
He's
one
the
of the
sergeant guy
sergeants.
who wins the Medal of Honor and then comes back and
No,
sells
he isn't.
bonds.
No, he isn't.
That's
That's not
not him?
That's not Bernthal. That's the other guy.
Well, that guy looks very similar to Bernthal.
I remember
Except
a
the
lot
other
of the
guy's like a foot
guys.
shorter than Bernthal, but Bernthal is the guy. I mean, it's not. Well, it's not really spoiler since you watched it. You just don't remember. He's the guy when they're running ammo back and forth, and then the guy he like burns his arm.
Yeah.
And then he runs, and then he like fights in the woods.
Yeah.
Barenthal's the guy who like saves him, like pulls the guy off.
Oh,
Him.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and that's the one where they can't find him the next day. And
There's a lot of them who like look very similar.
Yeah.
well,
that
yeah, I
show.
mean that's
And then
like
a lot
the
of the
weird.
scenes
That's
are
like
at night.
the weird thing with all those World War II pictures. It's like every single person looks the same.
Right. Well, that's the thing too. Band of Brothers, like, I mean, now you know because so many of them are like just famous people. But like when you're watching it the first time, you're like, oh, okay, this is one guy, this is another guy.
Oh yeah,
And the same thing with Black Hawk Down too. Honestly, like literally almost any war movie.
It's
where
almost like the military has some kind of uniform where they want all their guys to look similar. It's just
yeah. But getting back to We Own This City, I really liked how they handled the Sean Suter, the detective. They don't say what. Suspected suicide, possible murder. You know, the way the show definitely leans one way, I'd say.
It's 90%. They lean 90%
Yeah.
towards suicide.
I guess it is like it is a little more up in the air, I guess, than that. But like the show has an opinion. That's
it.
not like it's out of nowhere either. Like, you know,
No,
it's set up.
It's under. Yeah. No, that's. I mean, that was nice how they did that, and that's like the hopelessness that kicks in. You're like, there's this detective who's really he avoided
has
the
like
bad
no
stuff.
options.
Yeah, and he just tried to do good for the city, and it seemed like he was an intelligent detective, but like bad stuff just stays with you, I guess, when you're a cop in Baltimore. So.
Yeah, and you know that feeling of hopelessness. A lot of these shows end with a lot of like questions, not a lot of answers, or not even questions, but just a lack of sort of answers of like, yeah, I don't know how to fix this.
Yeah.
It's just like totally broken. I mean, we can't find a jury to like, you know, that will trust the police. We can't find 12 people that will trust what the police officer says to hold a trial. So yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do there. I like the scenes at the end with him in prison. I thought that was good. I thought that like ending scene of like him giving the speech to like all the characters on the show, the like sort of, I mean, that's clearly a dream sequence, right? I was watching something and they were like, it seems like a dream. It's like, no, that's a dream sequence. Like literally everyone in the show, even including like dead people, are in that. So like, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's probably a flashback to when he was doing the speaking. So he probably
but I think that's like
about,
a dream. I think that's
Is
like
it?
you know, yeah, I think that's what that is.
Is it? Because I thought of it more as a flashback. He's preaching this stuff, and then all the younger guys are soaking it in.
Yeah, but like the commissioner's there. I don't know why that would.
Oh, really? I don't
yeah,
recall that.
Yeah, like the commissioner's there. Like Sean Suter was there, and
Yeah, but didn't Sean Suter and him start kind of at the same time? So why would?
but so why would
Why
he
would he
be giving
Yeah,
a speech?
yeah. Okay, I can see dream sequence.
That opening is still great though. I will go back and watch that.
Yeah, the opening's good.
He's really. You know how we were like last week? We're like, listen, you know, we could just keep saying jets flying are really cool for like an hour. This is the same thing with this. It's like, God, Bernthal's so good in this show.
Yeah, he really is.
It's like I don't want to like keep saying the same thing, but like, oh, dude, he's awesome and just a
soaks it all
bucket or a bundle of energy.
Do you know what he's doing next? I'm curious what he's doing.
I don't know. That's a very good question, Chris.
Right. He's the standout. He's the standout from this, without a doubt, hands down. I did like how they bring some of the Wire folks back, though. Like the kids who are now drug dealers are now, like Marlowe.
Oh yeah,
is Sean? What's his?
Oh, that's right. He's
the guy who essentially killed himself. He's like one of the head drug dealers in the Wire.
Oh yeah, he's like the big bad for like the last half of the show.
Yeah, and then there's the kid for like the 5 seasons of The Wire who's just a low level drug dealer who kind of rises up.
Cop at
who's
the
the cop at the
beginning.
beginning? Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be in American Gigolo, which is a remake of an 80s Richard Gere movie on Showtime. And then the other thing is Snow Ponies. I don't know what this is. A tough group of men. Wow, who could have guessed? Ward off ruthless. Oh, so Chris, here's something we're going to watch on Hulu in like 14 months. A tough group of men ward off ruthless bandits and brutal obstacles as they travel across a treacherous landscape to deliver us a mysterious package.
Okay.
Okay, and then Untitled Accountant sequel, which any day now that will drop, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, look, We Own the City. I can't recommend it enough. Especially if you like The Wire. This is right up your alley.
Absolutely.
Right up your alley.
Okay, almost the same show. Obi-Wan
I'm back.
dropped its fourth out of 6 episodes.
Yeah, we got 2 episodes left.
This is a pretty quick one, though I would say action-packed.
Very much so.
This is an escape from prison with Obi-Wan trying to break Leia out of an Imperial penitentiary, which, is a thing that happens.
I believe this is Castle Vader or whatever it's called.
This isn't Castle Vader.
This is on a water planet.
This is on the water moon orbiting Mustafar,
right?
Which Castle Vader would be on Mustafar.
Oh, okay. I thought they mentioned it being Castle Vader.
This is like the snow miser to the heat miser.
Sure.
Yeah, so, we're on the aquarium planet, and there's a base there, and, we got to break them out. I don't know, guys. It's all right. I mean, it's fine,
So, did anyone watching this, especially at the beginning, be like, did I miss an episode?
Yeah, where he's talking to
all these characters, we've been introduced to them.
I'm glad. I'm
totally.
glad I wasn't alone.
And it's like Ice Cube's son just shows up, and you're like, "Oh, are we going to rob a bank?"
But this show feels like they cut out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like there's 5 writers.
No.
Oh, really?
It feels underwritten.
It feels like they almost
over-edited.
They almost wrote a movie, and they're like, all right, let's try and make it into 6
Yeah, because
drag it out as long as
because
we can.
at the end of the episode where that guy dies, and we're like, oh, this is so sad.
Wait,
and
are we
like,
supposed to feel sad for
right?
that?
They're definitely playing it off like I'm supposed to feel sad.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right. It feels like we wrote a scene, at least a couple of scenes, getting us to know this character so that the death was somehow impactful. And it feels like we cut that down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, were they trying to make a point of, a lot of these things just seem like, throwaway deaths and, it's not actually to the people that live in the... I don't know, but that show's never going to make this point.
No.
Yeah,
So, when this first started, I know that the actress who plays the third sister, she was getting a lot of crap on, and which is, whatever. And I would say for the first 3 episodes, I was like, oh yeah, no, she's an okay character. It's just seems like all the Inquisitors are very incompetent in a way. Now I'm at this 4th episode, and I'm like, Vader, just fucking kill her. Just she's so annoying, and she's doing all these stupid things to get to Obi-Wan, but she's putting them in jeopardy, putting everyone in jeopardy. She's doing the dumbest things. She kidnaps a senator's daughter. Granted, running an empire, you need some kind of peace. This is a reason to start a rebellion. The empire overreaching that far, even though maybe there's some ties to Obi-Wan. Even that was a stretch. They were still maybe they still are in touch.
Yeah, you're right though. We're gonna kidnap a senator's daughter to maybe have some inkling of where
granted,
a
she's
Jedi
right.
is.
Granted, she's right in the end.
Yeah.
But the leaps in logic that she has to make to justify her decisions, she should be dead. Vader should have killed her by now.
it almost feels like we're missing something
Right.
here. Something was written and then we cut it out.
Yeah. But they were trying. She was gonna kill Leia.
Right.
Try explaining that to a
Why?
senator. Oh yeah, we killed your daughter.
There's got to be,
Why?
there needs to be, because they will explain this, why she wants Obi-Wan so bad. There needs to be a good explanation.
Oh no,
I think she's trying to
there's-
impress.
I
Daddy.
know, but I feel like
yeah.
it all hinges on.
No, but they already explained that.
So she
that's-
just wants to impress us.
Yes.
That this is stupid.
Obi-Wan is number 1 because it's Vader's old master. He's the most important Jedi to catch. She's trying to catch the biggest fish in the pond to impress Vader. She wants to be by his side.
Do we think it's next episode or the episode after where it's revealed she's one of the younglings?
It's got to be next episode. Because the 6th one is going to be the fight between Vader. Vader. Yeah. I mean, just logically, that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's annoying because like I really want to like this episode because like when Obi-Wan was running around with the lightsaber and he was like finally getting the like blocking the
he's getting the movements back.
He's getting the moves back. Like I was getting into that.
Yeah, the Mambo
But then
slide.
I would think like, but why are we here, Sam? And like, shut up, brain.
No, I think I've had this complaint now for a couple episodes. I'm not anywhere further off of that island of like, this isn't additive at all. This doesn't really add anything to the story, like the greater story. I mean, like, okay, I guess it's an adventure. Did I need an adventure? Did we need to call Ewan McGregor out of 15-year retirement to just have him, I don't know, hop planet to planet and not really, I don't.
He deserved more. Granted, he was in the prequels, but he deserves
They
more.
really beat
He
the
like
OG stories.
produced this.
Yeah.
He did produce this was kind of his baby. So
Well, you
I
get
don't know if
I
I'd
think
say
they.
that.
I think he made it a prerequisite to him coming back. Get that producer credit.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you have to have him come back to do it.
Yeah, they're beating this original story with a dead stick.
I mean,
and they really need to move on.
You had the
They
cool
really
shot
need to
of
move on.
As in
realizing
the Skywalker saga, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had the cool shot or like realization of what was at the bottom of that tower, which was basically a tomb with all those dead Jedi.
Yeah, that
was creepy.
That I'm curious what the
Yeah, but it went like nowhere though.
yeah,
right. What are they doing? What are they doing? They're just entombing force sensitive people. Or?
They're all dead. Like, so I guess one
Well,
of
you
them.
think that, but half their eyes are open. So
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
almost
but no,
looks like
but
they're
they're-
in carbonite. Though,
Yeah,
too.
that's what I was
Almost.
thinking.
I'm pretty sure they're all dead.
I think you're right, but yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure what they were gonna do to Leia is what they did to all of them, which is essentially kill them all. Which, once again, explain that to a senator. Oh yeah, we killed your 10-year-old daughter.
but is he your daughter?
It's close enough, Sam.
Just speaking for somebody else who knows another adoptive parents, I would say yes.
It's close enough, Sam.
Pedantic Darth Vader is my new favorite character. Actually,
I have a coworker who is older than all of us. He's like mid to late 40s, grew up on Star Wars. I wouldn't call him a Star Wars fanatic like we are. He just likes it in passing. He discovered this show somewhat recently. And
Been out for like 3 weeks.
so like he was like, wait, they made a show and Darth Vader's in it? So like that's what I mean by discovered it somewhat recently. He didn't know it was happening.
what channel is it on?
Yeah, right. So
what dial?
so he watched
What's the top
it,
dial? What's the bottom dial?
But he watched it and he said his biggest compliment about the show is they're finally making Vader evil, which
That's true.
yeah, I'm 100% behind.
What is
I'm
this
like,
rated,
you know,
by the way?
Just
Do we know?
probably just whatever PG or whatever.
Yeah,
What,
but Vader also like flicks his wrist and a kid's neck breaks. So
He kills a lot of people in the 3rd episode.
Yeah,
Because that's what I brought. Like he's dragging people by their necks, like force choking them.
Yeah, and so that's
through the
why
town
I'm
and
thinking like
stuff.
this is a little not kid friendly.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'll let my daughter watch Mando, but not this. No way.
I feel like he's pretty evil in Star Wars.
Yeah, but like everything else outside of like the main 3, it's just like, hey, look, it's Vader. Ah.
I'll give this. He's not badass evil. He's menacing evil.
Yes.
but he's not badass evil.
No,
Fair enough.
Only like Rogue One is
Yeah.
anything like that.
well,
Which,
that's why
you know,
everybody loved Rogue One because he went finally.
Yeah, that was
Well, we
the-
got to see something we've never seen before.
You ever watch that scene of Vader but with the Doom music? Oh my god, it's amazing. You could do anything with the Doom
Has
music.
Sean,
anything
we need
ever
to
been
do-
ruined with you watching stuff over something else?
Yeah.
Like your viewing habits
We
are
need
just
to do like
It's
YouTube
everywhere.
quarterly with Sean.
It's like a 30-second clip, guys.
This
Welcome
should-
to YouTube.
This should be like not this podcast, but a podcast. Is like what
viewing
the
habits with
YouTube
Sean.
like sommelier.
12 hours of The Hobbit, not The Hobbit.
No, it was
Fellowship. 12 hours of Fellowship.
Yeah.
Let's see what Sean thinks about watching this.
Yeah.
Which is the
No.
last time he watched
And
it.
there are videos of people watching it, but all I'm saying is that with the Doom music, there's a bunch of videos, like the end of Step Brothers where they fight all the kids. That's like the most famous one. It's called When the Doom Music Drops, and it's that scene, but with the music from Doom. And if you don't know what the Doom music is, you should listen to it, because no matter how heavy metal like whatever music you listen to, this is like that times 10. It's amazing.
So Obi-Wan.
So anyways, Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
we-
I thought
are we
when he
gonna,
used his lightsaber. Well, actually, I coming back to my intro. Okay, how do you not make blaster-proof glass though, for real on the aquarium planet? Like,
Right?
Yeah.
come
that
on,
doesn't-
like that's a
Right.
little.
Yeah.
It's just, and I've never been like really,
But like the thing is, if the story was good, I wouldn't pick up on that nitpick.
Yeah.
But there's like 1,000
Here's-
other things.
here's my-
Yeah, it's
my-
just like I'm out of this. So
Let me just be a contrarian or whatever. Is there blaster-proof glass?
I feel like there should. I mean,
There should be, but is there?
Well, that's the thing. It's
Because like
laser.
I think back to episode 3 of the main story, so Revenge of the Sith, where they blow open the windows of the cockpit of Grievous's ship, and like Grievous escapes out that way, or I don't know. Does he get?
that seems like kind of
like,
I don't know. I feel like
no,
then you
Grievous
can't have
in
glass.
the ship when they're crashing
Yeah.
in Coruscant. No,
Yeah.
he runs to escape pod.
right. Okay, yeah, but they still blast out the windows.
well, I think this
They're
is
also in atmosphere.
I know.
this is a good moment for me to dust off an old classic. Space Wizards, guys. Space Wizards. Let's all just calm down.
Sam, I've been all right. So like I've been editing our one shot of.
I wasn't
D&D.
the one to build an underwater base.
You bring up wizards a lot, Sam. Is everything wizards to you?
Yes. That's a wizard.
God damn it.
Guys, I didn't invent the aquarium planet. Okay, so don't. Yeah, I don't know. This show's fine.
Look, I think we should just rehash at the end, like recap.
Yep. I'm like honestly, I didn't watch this episode until today because I wasn't
No
in
interest.
a rush.
No interest.
I wouldn't say there's no interest, but there's no rush.
There's absolutely like the buzz is totally gone.
Is
out
it
of
gone? I haven't been following
I
it.
can't. Like honestly, you can't spoil this for me.
Wow, I can't really
Like
spoil
that-
it for anybody.
Well, that was the thing with Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 is I didn't want it spoiled for me. So that's why I wanted to watch it the day it dropped. This, if it spoils for me, it spoils for
oh,
me.
Mando,
don't
I
care.
watched twice in like 12 hours.
Yeah, but like I don't care about this show enough to be like, no spoilers, la 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 la. Like I don't care.
Right? I care more about Ahsoka that's coming out than this.
And I'm
Yeah.
surprised. I kind of want her to show up in this.
Right?
I think that'll
just to
make
bring
the
a
show
little
a little bit better. But I don't
Fucking
think she's.
hell.
I don't think- I
Mando.
don't think it will.
Yeah, Mando- young Mando
young
shows
Mando.
up.
Guys, if Andor's bad, like there's gonna be like a 3-alarm like fire. With
I mean-
With Star Wars?
Yeah.
Mando season 3 comes out
December.
December of
I
this
think
year?
it's December.
or is it January?
No, I think it's December.
Might
I think
be
it's
December.
Christmas. It might be Christmas week.
It might
Yeah.
be January. I don't know.
I mean, I have high hopes for that show. So.
Mando 3? At this point, I'm honestly not sure they can do me wrong.
No, Mando's fine. Even at its worst, I think it's fine. Because even at its worst with Book of Boba Fett, like the Mandalorian episode was like, oh yeah, no, this is good.
Yeah, we have a general
Well,
direction.
see, I would say that. I mean, but we don't have to get too into it. But like, I feel like when it's bad, it's like not like the first 3 episodes of Book of Fett or Boba Fett was like,
Oh yeah,
whatever.
but Mando wasn't in it.
You mean
Right.
Mando season 3?
Yeah, right.
2.5.
Yeah,
2.5.
2.5.
It was literally
2.5.
2.5 full episodes of Mandalorian.
Right.
The preview.
That's Mando season 3. So
Any-
Mando season 4 comes out in December.
Yeah. Any? Okay. Yeah. Good way of looking at it. Any other departing Obi-Wan takes?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's Netflix hot
I want
take
them
now.
I want them to drop the last 2 episodes just so I can finish it.
That would be fine with me. Yes. Stranger Things.
Yes.
Stranger.
Stranger
Let's go.
Things thoughts on.
Let's.
we discussed it last week, but John's here now.
Go ahead,
Yes,
John.
I have now binged.
Oh, he's got notes.
I've got the whole season.
He's got a paragraph.
I got 7 points for 7 episodes. That's just a coincidence.
All right. That is a coincidence.
I did listen to most of your segment.
Right.
Some things I agree with you. Okay. So obviously this season I would say is very much horror versus the previous ones being kind of mystery, sci-fi, thrillery.
Yeah. I would say even the last season dealing with the Mind Flayer was a little dip into horror.
Yeah, it was definitely leading more in that direction.
I would say body horror in a way, because like the exploding rats and stuff. Like,
I don't even remember.
But even
that.
the hospital scene was still pretty horror.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, you know, when they're
Yeah.
I don't remember any of that.
All right.
I have never done a rewatch of this show. I think
I
maybe
have not either.
rewatched the first one.
I have never rewatched this show.
Anyway, okay. Here's sort of where I'm at with this.
Okay.
So I guess you guys know me. Horror, I actually found it in some ways refreshing because it was kind of a new thing we hadn't seen before.
Right.
But I guess at the end of the day, for me, is never really like my strong or like my bread and butter.
Right.
So, you know, parts of it I liked, parts of it was like kind of getting old after a while. What I just kind of like watched this show, and it's been like this more or less since the second season. The second season was a little bit, but I just miss kids on bikes. You know, I just miss like the first season's fun. Eggo waffles, you know, like
very hey, remember this kind of stuff? Hey,
not-
it's the 80s.
Certainly there's an element of that, but it's like more like fun Spielberg-y kids on bicycles kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The last two I just feel like the fun is gone.
Okay.
It's not really like fun anymore. And definitely like I like the parts of like them driving around with the stoner 80s friend who I did enjoy.
Yeah.
It wasn't like billion percentile, but I was like, yeah, good. I definitely agree that like the more interesting characters are like the new people that get thrown in, like the sheriff who has now been in. Oh man, I gotta look at that guy's name, but he's one of those dudes who's like I didn't see him in anything until 6 months ago, and now I've seen him in 3 different things because he was in Don't Look Up and then the Lakers show and now this.
Yeah, he's been in every season of Stranger Things. Him and that other cop.
He has?
Yes, he has.
Yeah, he was the deputy.
Yeah, they've been all 3 of those cops have been in every season.
Holy shit.
Right? Well, because they've always played second fiddle to David Harbour.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. Well, I guess I have seen him in something. Anyway. Okay, so here's I guess kind of my big thing with this. And I don't know, just I know I'm like very like anti-Netflix at times, but like okay. And this is not just the Stranger Things. I should emphasize. Ozark has almost the same problem, and now it's definitely been more pronounced. I feel like later in the seasons, as maybe Stranger Things has, and maybe it's just they understood through the algorithm because they know exactly how much of what each people watch and what sucks them into the next episode. I just find the most important things are like the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes, and everything else in between is like, yeah, okay, it's kind of filler.
Well, that's kind of the problem with any show that is this type of show. So, like Lost, we'll say. Lost was very much like this, where the first 10 minutes was answering the questions of the last 10 minutes of the previous episode. Any mystery show like that, it's always like that. It doesn't matter if it's Netflix. It doesn't matter if it's Hulu. It doesn't matter if it's Disney. It's every show is like this.
I don't know if Westworld was as bad.
Oh, it was.
Like that. I know it definitely was always like there was a cliffhanger at the end.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it necessarily being as answered like, oh, we're just going to jump back in. And part of it is like, oh, this is a 9-hour movie. And like, I can respect that to a certain degree, but also I feel like didn't need to be a 9-hour movie. Could have been a 5-hour movie. Could have been a 3-hour movie, 2-hour movie, honestly. Because I feel like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of disparate storylines going on. Too many for me. I mean, like I'm like I said, love the first season where it's like I think 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, it was like Nancy and the boys.
Yeah, it's more or less exactly. And the boys in 11, and sometimes 11 was on her own.
Right.
I don't know. I just really like that, and I liked everybody together. And the last 3 seasons have now been chopping up every bits and pieces. And I like our guy Dustin and Steve, classic combo.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I like. Oh, you couldn't figure out her name either. Maya Hawke.
Nancy.
Robin. I think that's a great group. Throw Nancy in there. I'll take that. I like the D&D guy. He
Eddie.
wasn't. I wasn't feeling him right away, but like when they're on the lake or whatever. Mm-hmm. Pretty good character.
I read that the showrunners was the
Duffer Brothers.
They shot the drug deal scene very late in the shoot between Eddie and the cheerleader, and they realized that these two characters have amazing like chemistry, and they're like, crap, she's already dead. Like, like I wish we didn't kill her so quickly because they have such amazing chemistry together. In that scene is a great scene.
And it seemed like there was interesting and like stuff there, and then it's just like, oh, she's dead. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, like that. They fully admit they were like, that sucks for us.
Yeah, that happens sometimes, especially if you shoot out of order. You know, it's gonna happen. But the thing is too, I just feel like a majority of the storylines didn't really work that well. Like I think the California stuff didn't really deliver.
Nope.
I thought the 11 stuff until the very end really was like just kind of filler.
Yeah, it was like it was dragging its feet the whole time. Like we know where it needs to get. Like granted, we didn't know where it needed to get, but we knew where it needed to get. If you know, understand.
Yeah, like even exactly. Exactly. Even the Hopper Russia stuff, is kind of. I don't know. It just doesn't justify how much time I spent watching this, and I just feel like part of it too, being the binge model and just all of it coming out, and this being such a big show, I have to watch. Like I have to consume it if I'm going to be remotely tuned into any sort of. I mean, let alone that we do this podcast.
Right.
I heard he had to skip the end of the last step one so it wasn't spoiled. Right. Did I have to do that? I don't know. But I would have never watched it if you had told me what happened. So. I just kind of wish it was a week-by-week thing and I could marinate and, like, think about it a little bit. I don't know if there's that much on the bone, but, like, I would have liked the option. Whereas now I feel like I'm rushing through. I got to go I got to watch one tomorrow night, and they're longer episodes, too. It's, like, tough to knock out. You can probably do 2 a night, but, like, you're not.
It's long.
You can't, like, rip through like you maybe normally would on some other shows. So that, I don't know. That just kind of... It's just starting to wear on me, I guess, as a TV person watching TV. And I think too a lot of the things with a lot of Netflix shows, again, like this happens on Ozark too. It's a lot of like you're just watching to see what happens, but you don't really know why, and you don't even necessarily care. And it's like that doesn't really sustain itself too long. And it's like if I'm not like otherwise interested, I'm just gonna be like. I feel like I'm going through the motions here, Like at one point I was just like watching clips of The Shining because, who was it? Someone goes like Little Pigs. Oh, the Satanic Panic guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna throw on The Shining. Yeah.
That's where Netflix falls down. I think this show would do much better if it was week.
Which technically they're doing with this season is they're separating it.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like
I know week to week to week.
Week to week. So this is the problem with Netflix, I think.
Dropping it all at once.
Dropped it all at once.
It's the problem that is now the problem, but 5 years ago wasn't the problem because everyone loved that idea of being able to binge it all at once.
Yeah.
But
now you're starting like this is Netflix. Stranger Things is what one of 5 top 5 like bread and butter. That's their thing.
It was just announced. So this is the highest viewed English speaking show on Netflix ever.
So like that's fine, but. When I look at this, I watched this in 2 days, maybe 3.
You rip through it and you don't think about it again.
But I haven't thought about it since. I'm thinking more about We Own This City, and there's only 5 episodes, and I watched it over. I don't know how long we watched it for, but like I'm over it.
So you guys are saying like skip the binge model for like a zeitgeist show, like some kind of show that's in the pop culture
for one of their pinnacle properties. do a week release.
And
Don't bin. Don't.
I think
unload
by
it.
doing it at that route, they can cut out a lot of the boring stuff, like constantly going back to 11, being like, "Oh, it's this scene again."
Not even that. It just creates I can't wait to see what happens next.
but
Therefore, I'm going to keep my
it's-
Netflix and then just go.
It's what, 7 episodes, correct?
This last
this
one?
was 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
By the way, it's even. I mean, you wouldn't know unless told. Like,
Yeah.
It's however many. I mean, you spent 8 hours
Right.
watching it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, 8 plus.
More than that.
Yeah, definitely more than that. It's like 9. But if you were to release this weekly rather than all at once, I feel like in order to keep people attached and interested week to week rather than hour to hour, you kind of have to cut out all that boring stuff.
I don't think so.
There's a lot of boring
but
stuff
think
in this.
But think of the other shows that have like boring things as well that are dragged out week to week.
But
to
they're
week.
they're only 45 minutes long.
It doesn't matter.
It does, because these are an hour and a half.
Yeah, but like I was excited to watch this.
Oh, I was too, because
really
it was in
excited
the
to watch
moment.
this. Whatever they gave me, I was chewing it up.
That's
It's just they gave
yeah.
it to me in one bulk sitting,
Right.
and now it's like eating. I haven't had fast food in a long ass time, but it's like eating fast food. If I remember correctly, you're hungry an hour later.
No, that's Chinese food.
Okay.
An hour later, you don't want to think about food for the rest of your life.
Yeah. So that's
Depending on what you eat.
But and then you're like, why did I just spend $35 for a Big Mac at? Well, I don't know how much they are nowadays, but
$35.
I'm assuming
All right,
it's
Chris,
pretty
Chris,
expensive.
Chris, you're acting like Bill Gates when he doesn't know how much a gallon of milk costs right now.
I don't know how much a Big
It's a
Mac is
banana.
right
How
now.
much could it cost? $10?
How much is a Big Mac? I have no idea how much.
You're probably
like $8
spending
bucks.
like $12 on a Big Mac meal.
Yeah. The full
$12.
meal?
Yeah, $12.
Sure. The last time I had a Big Mac meal,
I
it
don't
was
like.
probably $6 total.
Shocking! I don't like Big Macs. I hate Big Macs.
That's
What's your
just
go-to?
what I remember.
At McDonald's,
Yeah.
usually a quarter pounder.
Did they,
with cheese, with
did
cheese.
they? Is that the McRib plate? McDonald's is the McRib, right?
If it's got Mick,
No, it's Burger King.
no.
That's the
Well,
obvious.
I say that as I
McRib.
didn't stop myself
Yes.
before I said it. But
I-
yes,
I
is
have-
that still on the menu?
No,
It comes and
goes. I
Okay.
have. So this last year, I officially tried it for the first time, and yeah, it's not very good.
I don't think it ever was.
No, it wasn't. Well, I never tried it.
Oh,
So like, I think 2020 or 2021, I was like, all right, I'm going to try it. I want to try it, and I was like, wow, it tastes like barbecued rubber.
really? The last time I tried it was probably in high school, but it had like fat gristle like mixed in
Yeah,
with the.
it could. It's just ground pork.
Yeah, it's
Well,
nothing.
I mean,
it's like ground pork shaped to look like ribs.
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, it's not very good. Anyways, that's our fast food
Sorry,
talk.
fast food
Yeah.
too.
How have we not
I
had a
don't-
McRib reference in the
I don't eat fast food.
Stranger Things?
When did McRib come out?
I feel like they were around in the 80s.
I'm
Sure has
look.
had enough Coke references.
Maybe early,
I know-
maybe late 80s, early 90s.
The weird thing for me, I mean, this is kind of like going back, but like the weird thing to me is to know that like McDonald's existed before chicken nuggets.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird to think about that.
Have you seen the movie The Founder?
No,
Good movie. You should check it out.
I've heard.
Easy to watch.
Have you seen Super Size Me? Hard to watch.
Oh, I
Yes. It's a little bit different.
know. 1981, first introduced in 19. Yeah, so how have we not had a McRib?
I feel like I don't know. Someone somewhere.
I bet you the dad is gonna order McRib at some point in Stranger Things. Look, if the dad and the mom are really like shining right now, because it's too awesome. The mom's hair, what's her face? Love the mom's hair, like nailing it every time I see her on
What
screen.
is that? That's the Farrah Fawcett
Nancy,
look,
right? I
The
don't know
blowout?
what. Not Nancy. Nancy's mom, Mrs. Wheeler.
Mrs. Wheeler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
What's
can't do a
what's
reference.
Nancy's brother's name? Couldn't figure it out on the way over.
See, right?
Mike?
Mike.
Right?
It is Mike. I knew it was one syllable. Okay.
He's such a pointless character.
Well,
all three. All four of them are pointless characters right now.
Kind of. No,
No,
Mike,
no.
Mike,
In every possible way,
Mike
all
and
four of
Will
them.
are by far the most pointless, and Jonathan.
And Jonathan,
are the most
yeah.
important.
that whole storyline.
Yeah.
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 Dustin's cool.
Yeah, Dustin's fine.
Dustin's like grown in. It's like
who's-
Dustin, Nancy. Honestly, just give me those.
Just
four.
Yeah,
I just show me those four and then upside down. For
Yeah,
the
Jonathan's
next episode.
like not even in this.
No.
Like what? I don't even understand what he was doing in this season.
Right. I
Honestly,
think it's just the
He's there.
love triangle that they're
Yeah.
intentionally forcing into
Right.
the
Do
season.
you guys? Who are you shipping? Are you shipping Steve and Nancy or Nancy?
I am.
And,
I'm
Jonathan?
Steve Nancy.
It's going to be Steve Nancy, but I mean the same
Who do you-
situation
Who
arises.
do you want though?
It's
Chris?
probably Steve Nancy.
No, who do you
want?
What
Chris?
does your heart tell
Yeah.
you?
Oh, all right. Honestly, the same situation arises. I don't want anybody because it's going to be
right.
Steve's going to stay in Hawkins, and then she's going to go off to Emerson or wherever it was. It's the same thing with Jonathan. She's going off to school. He's staying somewhere else.
He's going to Santa Barbara Community College.
Yeah, whatever
I
it
guess,
is.
or whatever.
Like they're not. The same problem is going to arise. There's going to be a distance between them.
I think Steve and Nancy. I think it could work. I think
so.
he
Look, I
gets
put,
a job at Fenway Park, and
I put money that Nancy doesn't get out of Upside Down. Like she's not going to make it.
I'm feeling that.
The trailer does show Robin back in the Upside Down, and we know she's out right now. So, trailer for
No,
part
they're
two.
all-
I mean, I'm sure we all
no,
go
the
back.
trailer for part 2 it shows.
Oh,
Robin
they're all
in the-
they're all out except for her now.
Yeah.
Well, Steve's
Or
still in
Steve's
there.
still in
Steve's
there.
still in. Well,
Yeah.
technically.
So can I talk about what I liked?
Sure.
Your favorite thing? How I don't understand how you. This is like not a hard name to remember either. Vecna.
Oh yeah, I was.
That was a bad bit. Like that was a bit, right? Please tell me that was a
no.
bit.
No, he legitimately couldn't remember.
I mean, granted, we were like an hour and a half into our podcast, and I was at like 3 beers and like nothing to eat, so I will contribute to that. But it was also nice to keep Sam in on the conversation and just keep like going like because I was actually when we were gonna start talking about him, I was
Right.
for classic's sake, I was gonna be like, I remember Vecna, but Sam, what's his name again? Just to include you in
Yeah,
here.
that guy Vaudeville. I thought that was good, and it wasn't like early on. I was like, "Oh, another bad guy. Why do I care?" But the whole backstory, the whole love the scene with Robert Englund in the insane asylum, right?
Yep.
Yep. Thought that was really good. What did sort of throw me off, and this one is going to be on me, is like, okay, that story took place in the 60s. That's only 20 years ago from that
Right,
storyline, whereas
yeah.
I'm like, but he's got to, that kid can't be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that threw me. I knew he was one, like, right, like, pretty early on. I didn't make the connection that he was the kid from the story.
Right.
Because what? I guess they say he was in a coma, and then that's about.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
what
and then he
yeah.
didn't survive the coma, is what Robert Englund
Okay,
says.
which is probably what the story would have been. So
Right.
that makes sense. I thought that was great. I thought that was how 11 created the Upside Down. I thought that was legitimately, and you hit on it too with the song, the song
yeah.
from Watchmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That was like I was feeling it when that happened. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this actually is like sucking me in now.
Oh yeah, I like when that was happening. I was
when she
like,
put him to the
oh
Upside
my
Down?
God, when she created the Upside
Yeah.
Down. But so shit, I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
You knew she created it though. Like once you found,
Oh.
like 2 minutes before, you're like, oh,
So-
this is where.
So there's a lot of talk about is Vecna the big bad or is just another monster of the week kind of
I
thing.
think he's the big bad.
There's a lot of signs that point to it. So if you go back to season 1, episode 1, when Will goes missing, you hear the clock go off. When you see Billy being taken over by the Mind Slayer in season 3, you hear the clock go off.
Oh, okay.
Like if you go back and rewatch this show, there are hints that Vecna is the big bad
Really?
overall.
Okay, because I'll be honest with you, I feel like the whole time this has been like very, firing from the hip. The show with the writing and everything,
Right.
Not, in a totally bad way, but that's interesting that
Well,
there's actually something looping in it.
there's
Yeah.
a season 5, and
Yeah, we'll see what season
Yeah,
5 has
can
in
I-
store.
Did you guys know this was not the final season?
Yes.
Not
no,
going
I
in,
thought
but
this
like,
was the final
I
season.
No,
thought
I
when-
knew it wasn't.
I thought after 3 they said this was it.
That's what I
could have
thought.
sworn.
No, you're right. They
Like, they
expected
must-
to end it at a certain point.
They must have, because like too many. This is like a Mandela effect thing. Because too many people I have seen said, okay, this is the final season. I don't know. I haven't Googled it. I'm too fucking lazy.
no,
there
there's a
is
season
one more
5.
season.
Yeah,
100%.
Oh no, I'm not.
Yeah.
They're
but I
not
thought
even
when they
ready
said-
to start filming yet. so
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
that's the latest I saw.
could I throw something out there for season? Well, I'm gonna wait actually on that. 'cause
Wait till
the season's
part
not done.
2. Yeah, wait till part 2 and then you can do your prediction.
So you guys are fired up for part 2?
Oh yeah, very much.
Yeah, but then again, I don't think I'll be talking about it from July 2nd on.
The problem is there's just so much time between seasons 3 and 4.
Yeah,
Honestly,
but
that
I killed
that
it
hurt.
too. And 2 and 3, I think, was like a
Yeah.
decent sized layoff.
And they're even saying between 4 and 5, expect a few years.
Yeah, so they quote unquote have the direction. They're just not ready to start filming yet.
All right, since we're talking about it, I think they should do a time jump.
Okay. Oh, like kind of like It Chapter 2.
Yeah, well,
Something like that.
them
Well,
as
you don't
adults.
even have to recast, but just
Yeah.
like make them younger.
Or,
adults.
Look, the kids in high school at this point not looking
Yeah, no,
like that.
I mean, like I said,
Let's just
it's
new
yeah.
environment. you
So
know?
Riverdale did that. I only know this
90s.
because
We do 90s with the baggy
because
pants
my
and
wife
big shoulder jackets.
my wife binge
My
watched
wife,
it
sorry.
recently.
My wife.
Yeah, my wife recently binge watched Riverdale, and at some point they're just like,
That's a tough
and
one.
everybody's in their late 20s.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
that got the axe, huh?
Recently, but I mean, it's
Almost
been like
every
7
CW show
seasons.
that we would reference got the axe now. Yeah.
I've only seen season 1 and 2, and season 2 definitely dropped off.
Okay.
Gosh, it's still growing strong.
Sure, it is.
It's not good. It's not good, but
no.
it's still on.
Yeah.
The fact that it's still
It's
there.
Still there. But yeah, I'm 100%. I'm with you, John. Do the time jump. Like,
I just think
boom,
you
it's
don't
the 90s.
you don't lose anything really, and it's something new. You know, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you, John. I'm not like so like, oh, this is ruining it. They're clearly not in high school.
Yeah.
They're way older, and you know the ages are funny when you look them up.
Oh yeah.
But,
yeah.
But why not? Like, what the high school thing? We're past that anyway. You know,
Yeah.
like really.
I don't want to.
These kids are in high school for like 3 seconds of the first episode.
I don't
and
want to
after
skip
that-
out on like the Hopper being in Hawkins. Like that's a huge miss for me because I want to see him. Like that's his area. That's where he kind of thrives.
Yeah.
I want to see him there. I want to see more of him there. And if this was the final season, I'd be pissed because is he going to get there in the next episode? Unknown.
I know. Yeah.
But
I think the last 2 episodes are like 5 hours in total.
yeah.
The last few episodes.
Look. Hopper needs to be in Hawkins
movies.
and interacting with pretty much everybody else. Like him with Dustin was funny before.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be funny now? So let's see that. Let's see that.
Something we never talked about. Speaking of Dustin, in this, so we finally get a look at Dustin's girlfriend's life.
Do we ever?
Oh my God! Like I'm surprised we never talked about that scene.
You know, I've been
is
watching
there
this
to
show
discuss about it?
on Hulu called Under the Banner of Heaven, where Wyatt Russell, U.S. agent, he plays some very, I'm going to have to be a little delicate here, incredibly culty Mormons.
Okay.
So that's kind of been top of my mind lately. So when I find out that this girl is, I'm like, oh, and then the family's kind of
Yeah.
eccentric.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just kind of the place I'm at.
Yeah. Because so Sam, so Dustin's girlfriend, I'm
He
trying to
doesn't know
think.
who Dustin
Susie.
is.
You know who
Susie.
Dustin? Yeah, Susie, but he doesn't know who Susie is.
Oh, okay.
He knows who Dustin is. He's the
No.
Okay.
I
No
watched
idea.
like 2 episodes of the show like 6 years
He's
ago.
he's
Like,
he's
We're
the
done.
cute kid.
We're done.
He's like the
Yeah.
baby face kid.
But like he has his girlfriend has like it seems like 8 brothers and sisters who are like
Yeah.
all going.
Mormons. They usually have
guess.
big families, right?
yeah,
Are they in Utah?
yeah, Salt
No,
Lake City
Sam, I know Mormons are in Utah. That's
and
how they
Idaho.
Like, but I mean, in
Pennsylvania.
this show, they drive to her house, and I'm trying to think where
Some
the
in
house was.
Pennsylvania.
You're thinking
I mean, there's
Mennonites?
some
I thought
everywhere.
they- well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Those are like
there were.
Quakers.
I graduated with one, but it's just it's weird that it's like, oh, Mormons.
The English.
No, but like it was like that scene of them just like walking through the house and just being like, oh yeah, these like random people are just wandering through the house and nobody cares.
Yeah.
And even the
concerning.
dad is just like, oh look, new people. Like,
Are you my kids too?
right?
Yeah,
I don't
it's
remember
funny
you
the whole
guys.
work from home thing
Yeah, right.
in the
Yeah, I'm
80s.
like, what is he? He's like doing the same spreadsheet over and over again. I don't understand how that works. That's definitely a very much. Oh yeah, that made sense. Like don't worry about it. Work from home. Remember that. Right.
So we're all in Stranger Things.
Yeah, I can't decide if I liked or didn't like that whole. Honestly, I think the bit just kind of didn't work for me. But
What, the house?
Yeah, just unnecessary.
No, it was very unnecessary. I didn't need them to have that many. And then it ends with the sister getting high,
yeah.
which is funny because it's like, oh, you're the black sheep.
Oh, you mean the one dressed like Marley Ringwald?
Right.
Remember that?
That wasn't Molly Ringwald.
Oh no, the other one.
Yeah,
Who's
the other one from Breakfast
Yes,
Club.
you know what I was saying.
Yeah, the goth.
but that's not
chick-ish.
Molly Ringwald. You're right.
Yeah. No,
What's her name?
I don't remember.
Damn it.
I don't care about the Breakfast Club enough.
I don't either. And you know what? Everybody like 5 and 10 years older fucking loves it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
don't get it.
No.
I
Not
don't
my
understand.
movie, bro.
No. Hell no.
Get out of here. I'm watching Superbad. Okay. So do you want to do the bit or do you want to
We're running long.
we ended up going. Of course we thought after we did a 5-hour episode last week that we didn't have much to talk about, but
No, we'll cut it early this week.
Yeah.
So next week, I believe we're going to be doing Jurassic World Old Dominion or Jurassic World Dominion.
Jurassic World Old
Sorry,
Dominion.
I'm like summer, and I'm like thinking, Chesney because
Why?
Country Fest.
Sure.
Can I know you guys want to do that like on Tuesday? I don't want to see that movie alone. Can we just
Take
go?
a half day.
Can we
What about potentially Sunday night? We can discuss it. We can discuss it.
I'm very busy this entire month. That's the
I don't know if I
problem.
want to take I don't know if I want to take a weekend portion of any of my life to see this.
That's why I'm
movie.
like, hey, you know what? I'll
Fair
go on a
enough.
Tuesday. It's best when the Tuesday it's all rainy and I'm like, I can't do
You
anything.
can save
at home.
$4 on it too. So.
Oh, save so much money.
Maybe I'll join you guys.
Yeah, we'll keep you informed.
Join
Alright.
us.
Anyway,
One
so
of
let's
us.
wrap it up.
One of us.
So next week is definitely gonna be Jurassic World, and then we'll see what else comes out. But that does it for us for this week. If you like all of our episodes, you can find them on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, the normal streaming platforms, and like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Knights of Nerdatude.
Bye. Adios.